that time again. It's AnimeFest, and we're here with
John Stalker,
Susan Roman,
Linda Ballantyne.
A lot of you may know them for their work for Sailor Moon, which is something that we, us 90s kids, all grew up watching. And I do understand you guys have a panel to attend to soon, so let's just keep this rolling. So, a lot of us who go to this convention, a lot of us either aspire to be animators, writers, or even voice actors, and you've all been on the business on stage, screen, commercials, radio. Is there any advice or guidelines you'd like to give to aspiring voiceover artists, including myself?
Yeah, don't get into the business. We have enough competition as it is. Yeah, I would say, just listening to your voice now, it's really not very good. What do you guys think? No, eh? Okay,
no,
next
he's
question.
He's a guy.
Yeah, well.
It is the best job in the world, for sure. It's the most fun. We love it. We love everything we do. But it's not necessarily for everybody, because a lot of people say, well, you know, everybody tells me I've got a really good voice,
right,
and so I should go into this. And it's not just about having a good voice. In fact, I would say almost the complete opposite of that. It's all about knowing how to act. And if you can act, there's something to move towards, but not just like, I sound really good when I talk like this.
In a world.
Yeah,
in a world.
Exactly.
I couldn't agree more. And the thing about sometimes people will say, I think I'm going to be a voice actor, and it's just like saying, I think I'm going to be a brain surgeon. I'll do it. I'll start next Tuesday. It's simplifying something that's a little bit more in detailed than what it seems. So somebody can say, oh yeah, I've got a really good cartoon voice. What about this? And you listen to it and you say, yeah, that's kind of cute. Can you keep it up for half an hour? What? Can you keep it up for half an hour? Can you keep that voice going for 26 episodes? And that's where it gets tricky, because a lot of people can do it for 15 seconds, but they can't do it for a longer period of time. And that's something that takes training.
Right.
And just like the brain surgeon.
I mean, it's a craft. It's something you have to really master.
Exactly.
Yeah, Shakespeare said it best. There's many a slip twixt the cup and the lip. There's a huge, huge chasm between having a good voice and being able to look at a piece of copy and really make it
come alive,
make it dance. There's a long way between having a good voice and being able to contextualize a script,
right,
and take on a character.
If I may, would you recommend, I know there are a lot of books that kind of give the overview of the industry business-wise and commercial. Would you recommend people kind of getting these kind of books? There's a book I actually picked up, The Art of Voice Acting. They have sample copies and stuff like that.
Well, I don't know if I can say this word. David Mamet had the best comment on reading and reading scripts and being an actor. You're like, I have to bleep this. And it's because an actor said to him, how do I do this? And he said, read the fucking line. So that's my take on it. You can either do it, you either get it, or you don't.
Right.
All the books in the world will
and playing with stuff too, getting in and just doing it. If you can get in front of a microphone, that is a golden opportunity. If you even if you rent a studio for a little bit, or a lot of people have stuff like this at home, just getting in and just going for it. And you just have to basically take down your pants and just go for it. You have to leave everything out and just go, okay, I look like an idiot right now. Here I go.
I mean, like I said, I'm sort of kind of slowly going into this because I'm still during that. I'm 22 years old and I'm still kind of like, I don't really know what
You're
I'm
a
going to
baby.
do.
Mm-hmm.
I do have a baby face complex, so if I got rid of this, I'd look like I'm 14. So, so obviously, it's all about the acting, just like you guys went over. Doing your homework doesn't hurt either, and just going for it, and just keep pushing for it. I mean, that's wonderful advice for everyone. That all you listeners really should take note for this, because I know you did work with Mark Wahlberg, Gilda Radner, and I've always been kind of curious. What's it like working with Gilda Radner?
Gilda Radner was a really, really funny, wonderful gal. I worked with her for a couple of years on a series called Coming Up Rosie, and the tapes don't even exist anymore. I don't believe. And I didn't know her, in all honesty. I never knew her in a personal sense. We would socialize occasionally, but I never really got to know her in depth. But certainly from our work schedules and from the sort of the modest socializing, she was a really great gal and funny.
Oh yeah,
She was funny. She was just naturally
Loved her
goofy and
Saturday
silly.
Night Live.
Yeah, well, how could you
Yes,
not?
of course.
exactly.
You know, that original Saturday Night Live cast was just,
Oh, the
you
best.
know, they were great.
Well, actually, we've been to a lot of conventions and we talked to a lot of people. And we've hit a lot of emotional stories throughout the different conventions we've gone to. And looking back, you know, Sailor Moon is one of the most iconic animes there is. You know, especially to us. And reflecting back, what did Sailor Moon and animes in general mean to y'all?
You know what? When we first started doing it, we didn't realize at all the impact that it was going to have because we had no idea, and we just thought it was a great project. It's fun, different, unique. It moved fast, and some of the animation was terrific. Some of the storylines were terrific. And as time progressed and we started to realize that it was having an effect on people, we were, you know, kind of shocked, but happy shocked. And it's only now that we start going to all these conventions all over the place and we hear it over and over and over again. You guys were my childhood. You made me strong. You made me realize that, you know, just pick yourself up, start all over again, and everything's going to be fine, and or finer. Don't let them get you down. And now it's almost like I want to say, geez, if I'd known that this would have been so important to you, maybe I could have done it better. You know, like that feeling, like, wait a second, can we do that? No, it's fine. So it's only now that we're getting all the wonderful feedback, and it's
The stories that we get too.
stories.
I mean, I just had somebody just like 5 minutes ago tell me, you got me a scholarship to college. You got me into college, and I got a scholarship because of you. And I'm like, I guess you owe me some money then. Like, what? I mean, we had somebody last weekend that said Sailor Moon saved my life. I literally was going to commit suicide.
Yeah,
And it was
we've
just,
heard that one a lot.
We've seen those. Yeah.
and it's so you're going to these conventions. All you're getting is love. You just walk out of there just feeling so full. It's a wonderful feeling. I never felt like that when I was doing it. Didn't have any idea it would be like this.
Yeah, we were told opening night the statement was that it's considered by most people, and we're patting ourselves on the back, I guess, the iconic. It was the start. It wasn't one of. It was the genesis of the whole movement. You know, and I remember looking at it the first time and seeing the footage and going, look how big their eyes are in this cartoon, right? And like it was so different for us. We were unused to it. When any dubbing that we had done before was certainly one ahead of you, both of you, but any dubbing I had done was mostly, because we're in Canada, done from French to English, or done in Montreal where they did English to French to cover that market. That was dubbing in those days.
Yeah.
We usually ask like all our guests we interview and stuff about like their most memorable experience in their field and careers. What is your memorable experience working in this field?
In my field.
Oh.
That's a poser.
Yeah.
Because it could be a positive one or a negative one. It's
Or
interesting.
even comical or
We've never had a negative
We never we'd like to hear it.
I mean, certainly things that stand out to me. It's terrible, actually. Are the days when things aren't going right? Because when you do voice, you just go in there going, "Yay, I'm working! This is the best job in the world. I love this." And then something will just go wrong, and you're in front of a microphone, and you're sweating your guts out, trying to get it right, trying to get the line right. I once did a job where I literally did the line. I think it was 47 or 48 times. One line. And I had to do that day, I had to do 6 episodes of this show. Because they had brought me in as this character, and they're like, okay, we just cast this character, we've already done 6 episodes, we need you to do it now. And the very first line, 48 times. I'm going, and I was shaking, just going, and I finally just said, can I just take a break and just go to the washroom? Yeah, okay. And I went and I looked at myself in the mirror and I said, okay, obviously you've got to just walk out there and say, I'm not right for this job, and it's fine with me if you recast this. Don't even worry about it. And basically, I'm letting you off the hook here. Obviously, I'm not what you want. And then I looked in the mirror and I went, "What are you doing? No. I've done this line 48 times. One of them is right. They're just being idiots right now, as far as I'm concerned." I went, "If they want to fire you, let them fire you. I'm not going to quit." So I just went back in there and I said, "You know what I think we should do? I think we shouldn't do this line right now. Let's just move on to the next line and let's just go. And at the end, we'll come back and do that line." They said, "Okay, every line, boom, 2 takes, that's it." The whole way through, went back and did that line. First take, "Okay, you got it, thanks." I walked out there just like... So that's one of the memories for me.
Oh God, that's a great. I'm having an anxiety attack just listening to
Me
that
too.
story.
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah, oh, yeah. Because you don't realize how much pressure is on you. In fact, you deliberately put it right out of your mind. Especially if you go in there and there's not only the director and the writer, but there's also the producer and the clients. If they're watching you, everybody's sitting there, eating baguettes and drinking coffee, and you're in there and you're performing, and you've got to be perfect. And this is where you got all these segments of your brain working at the same time. You've got your creativity is hopefully happening, your intellect, because you're being given direction. Do this, slow down on this word, speed up on that line, do this, do that. So the intellect is in place. And then you've just got your plain old nerves. And nerves have to be under control. And if they're not under control, the other 2 segments of your brain are just going to be worth diddly squat. Mm-hmm. So it's a very difficult thing sometimes to be that self-disciplined. And so just listening to this story that Linda was saying, I mean, I was living through it, and that I've had those moments where you go to the washroom, you look at yourself in the mirror and you say, something has to be done here. You've got to do this perfectly. You've got to relax. You've got to change your mind. You've got to go into a handstand down the hallway. You've got to break the mold. Something's going bad here, and it's got to come out of the groove. And that's where, boy, I think, Sailor Jupiter, I wish I'd known her all my life, because she would have just said something along the same lines as you, which is, "You're wrong. I did this right. In one of those 47 takes, something in there is perfect. And you didn't hear it. This is not my fault." But you're not allowed to say that. So that was perfect what she said. Let's just, move on. So she's establishing herself as a very credible, intelligent actor. And I think that was beautifully handled.
Thank you, Susan.
Okay.
So the question was...
The question was...
The most memorable experience.
Well, I've got one that's quite memorable, and it wasn't a happy one either.
Happening to us. It's the best
Yeah, it's not a wrist slasher, but it didn't make me happy. I was hard to do, and I was a well-established voice actor at the time, and I was hired to do a film. Now, once again, I'm making reference now twice in the same conversation to Quebec being French, and the rest of Canada is not. I don't know if so many Americans think that we speak both languages. It's not. It's only in Quebec, really, that they speak. We're unilingual, the rest of the country. Well, I was hired to do a film in Montreal, and they said, "Well, you're going to have to do it in both languages." I said, "Shit, I don't speak French. What am I going to do?" "I'll send you the script." So they said, "Okay." Send me the script. Studied it, and I mean, not only did I have difficulty with it, I was having trouble memorizing it because I don't think in another language. I have enough trouble thinking in English. So I did it. I memorized it. They flew me in.
This is an
on-camera thing, and I'm dying. And I get to the hotel, and they're coming for wardrobe, and they're coming for this, and it's like I'd finally gotten this. And just before they left it, John, we have a new script for you. We've changed things. It's like, and I did one of those. Oh, thank you very much. They closed the door and I went, opened it up, and it was all completely different. And I had a breakdown. It was only the second time in my life that I was so upset I couldn't eat. Usually when I get upset, I eat. I couldn't eat. I went out to have a steak. I thought I'm going to really just sublimate this. I took 3 bites and took it home. And I took it back to the hotel. I got up the next morning and went in and said, I'm sorry. I can't, I don't know what to say to you. I can't do this. Oh, never mind. It's okay. We'll just dub it later. Okay. Then the follow-up funny story is that I did, in fact, hear the film. They dubbed my English voice as well. And I thought, here you got like a high-profile voice guy. They not only dubbed somebody in French, they dubbed my English voice with some guy that was like, oh. I was like, come on.
Was that Au nom de tous les miens? For Those I Loved?
No, it was something I did with Ken Welsh called, oh God, I don't know. I played a porno producer.
Whoa!
I'm sorry. How art imitates life. What can I say? If only.
This has been great, but I think their signal is good.
Are they?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you.
We
Okay.
appreciate the time.
Thanks.
This has been the comment at AFest. We'll see you guys tomorrow.